Hi, Nikki. Hi, Craig.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good Friday morning.
Yeah. Good Friday.
So releasing passion. So I just marvel and grateful, one, for creation, like seeing the structure of creation, and then two, co-creating with others like we do here when we gather. So today is like celebrating what happens when we release our passion. That's my word for the day. I invite you to create yours.
I'm always amazed how language keeps coming up. Like not the term language, but the language that is in sync. It's just because the word release came up a number of times in the last 24 hours for me. And then it hit you today. It's kind of, yeah, it's kind of amazing to me. I take it as a theme. Setting our hearts free.
I'd say the intention's the same, just different words. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm coming to realize that that's the key. It's about these innate 3Gs that have been hidden temporarily. And as the heart is suppressed and restrained, there's a pressure that builds up inside it.
Morning, guys.
Morning, Pascal.
How are you guys today?
Good.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, we're exploring Jesse's word that he came in with was release of passion.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Release of passion. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Hmm.
And I was mentioning it as pent up pressure that's been hiding in your heart for your whole life and desperately wants to express itself.
Yeah, I definitely resonate with that. Yeah, and I still have I feel like I still have a lot to express.
Mm-hmm.
As you can tell, I'm a lot more expressive than when I started, but
Mm-hmm.
still a lot to discover for sure.
Welcome to the club, Pascal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I got my membership, I think.
Mhm.
Pretty
It's-
powerful awareness.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing feeling to know you can have what you want and still know there's resistance to it.
Yeah.
Ah. And not knowing what yes and will reveal. And I'm going to share mine for a moment because you are my inner circle too. And
Good. That's the fun part.
yeah, I can't wait any longer.
Go for it, Jesse.
I had my first conversation with Wall Street yesterday. Didn't know that was happening, but it turned out pretty well. And what interesting is that this is the second conversation I've had about creating a $10 billion company. They came to me saying, we want to do that. We're looking for an opportunity for that. We'll bring you X, Y, and Z. Really what they're offering to bring me is every CEO in the oil industry. Through relationship that they've partnered with, that this guy's talking to me about. It was quite interesting because I pitched it. I pitched my pitch, my new sales pitch to him. He didn't get it. An hour later, just as we were hanging up the call, he says, "You mean you're doing X, Y, and Z?" Yes, sir. We ended the call. He says, "That is huge." We ended the call. I'm thinking about this. It's like, okay, these guys don't trust
Left you
me.
hanging?
There's something to, well, I don't think I think I know I left them hanging.
Okay.
I mean, an hour and a half with this guy, right? That's quite a bit of time out of the blue, unscheduled.
Yeah. Yeah. With the CEO, that's gold.
No, this is a venture capitalist. This is not a
Okay.
CEO.
Well,
This is
yeah,
this
it's
is Wall
gold with him
Street.
too.
This is Wall Street. But it was through a connection that I'd known from 5 years ago, who'd tested my product and thought it worked really well and said, like, here, it's time to meet again. We talked. He called me that morning yesterday. Point of my story. I'm sitting here is like they are promising me what I want. I know I can deliver what I promise. They don't trust me to deliver on my promise. Current situation, moment of now. How do I make that work? Now, first of all, you make a lot of room. So I sat there and I was like, all right, there's this one customer that I want. They say they can get me this customer. I say I can sell one. I sell here. I'm going to sell one package for $9 million. One package will go for $9 million. And this company is able, I'm able to produce 4 projects for them. That's $36 million in a year. $36 million project. Four of them. I'm giving away too many numbers is what I'm working with here. Needless to say, I've got a couple of packages that I can negotiate with. That sounds like a interesting partnership. Or the start of one. I deliver more reward to them than I get. Why would you do that? I want to see what they do with it. See if that would be a good partner or not. Because I'm delivering. You know, it gives me leverage for the next negotiation for where we're going next with them, which is one tea company. They don't see it yet. I just did. I just put it together yesterday. So that's what I get to celebrate with. It's like, oh, and like coming up with how to make it work. Like that's been the creation. And it was like, oh yeah, that was it. That's the way to do it right there. Huh. That means I have to take the smallest part of the reward and off and give the rest of it away. That's cool. See, my old pattern would have never allowed that. But how else would I build trust, and how else could we have the conversation? How else could I start putting together a worldwide distribution before we have the capability of it? We release our passions. We find people that are passionate about this. We bring it out, and we are transacting from passion. Out of me servicing wells, would I be able to secure worldwide distribution? No cash it cost me, quote unquote, no money out of my pocket today, just my future promises. Oh, and by the way, I'd make more doing it this way anyway. but don't tell anyone. Space, make room. Profit can be space. Trust can be space. Value can be space. And that all comes from our language. Our creations, from us releasing our passions. And
Mm,
like I said, I only need one yes.
mm.
Leave for the
Wow,
guest that you know
wow,
you
wow.
Yeah, I got a huge hit from that too.
Big lessons in there. That's jam-packed with lessons.
And also a realization that you might not be able to see, Jesse, is that you've been creating this for many decades, actually. It's been in the works, and different people you've talked to. Like this venture capitalist that called you up.
Yeah, I don't doubt
Yeah,
that there's,
yeah,
I don't doubt that. And it's like a,
part of you attracted that call.
fine. It's like, point of it is that it's there and I look forward to what we do next with it.
Yeah, totally.
Like, I don't, like, it doesn't matter that it was been lined up forever. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, all the information's there. All we're trying to do is find it and bring it in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, That's why past doesn't matter. Because it's always there.
Yeah. The moments keep showing up.
When you look for them, yes. When you create them, when you expect them, or when you're even curious about what will happen, yes, they show up. That's why it's important to release passion, because it will be attracted.
And that's why it's important to maintain space.
Mm.
Open.
You can move things around.
Yeah. Rearrange the furniture, so to speak.
Different perspective. We talked about it yesterday, changing the perspectives. What would they care about? That's just changing a perspective. How could I demonstrate the greatest? Well, one, it's like put them in a real situation and deliver amazing results. It's like that's going to be trust value right out of the gate. And they're going to say, hell yeah, let's do that again. I say it's not going to be as good the second time around, but it's going to go a long ways.
Right.
Well, that's what everybody wants anyway. So that's my unpacking of that. Just celebrating the creation, you know? And just like, yes, it's been laid out there, but watching it come together is very interesting. That's the fun part for me, because it does turn into a game. A game I don't have to win because I know I won't lose.
Yeah.
Because we all win. No, and then my contact, it was fun. I asked my contact right early on in the conversation. He says, oh, I want to do this. I want to get you, I want to introduce you to this Wall Street guy, this venture capitalist. Okay. And I said, well, you know, what's your passion? What do you want to do with it? Because my point is that it sounds like he sees some synergies, right? Something coming
Right.
together. And it's like, I want to understand what he's passionate about. Where does he see his passion? And he was, you know, he answered well. Yeah, answered well. Um, but I could tell he was disappointed with his answer. It was like no one had
Hmm.
really ever answered, and no one had ever asked him that.
Yeah.
And in the next, then he called me right back and said, "Hey, I got the guy on the line now. Can you talk?" It's like, yeah, I can. So I cleaned up what I needed to and talked with him an hour and a half or so. And then I talked to him later in the afternoon, just come back in, and I said, "All right, you know, like how'd that go? I thought it went really well." And he says, "Yeah, I've already been in conversations with them." And I was like, "Good, good." So I know it's moving, right? Everybody's there. And he says, "You know what? I've really been thinking about that question you asked me about my passion." And he says, "I put educational systems together when there was new products that were rolled out. I taught people how to use it." He said,
Hmm.
I built universities that executives were sending their people to." He says, "I've done that my whole career." And I was like, huh, there it is. Thank you.
Wow. Wow. Yeah.
Because I said that is key to the success of my oil side of it, is making sure that people know how to use it. Boom, boom, boom. And it's like, huh, wow. Look
Yeah.
how many things just fell in one yes.
Well, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, that's enough of my platform.
Sounds like magic.
Hmm. Yeah, and creation. And fun. And aligning, orchestrating passion. That's what a conductor would do.
Yes, it is.
Conductor of passion. Hmm. All right, I want to hear from you guys. Not, yeah. That's my word for the day.
Does everybody share their word, or you're the first one, Jesse?
I think I shared mine. Craig may have. I don't think that he specifically came to it yet that I know of. But he was working connecting the heart, you know, the passion side to it. So that was where we started, and then you showed up, and I released my passion.
I love it. I love it. And how does it feel like to release your passion?
it's excitement, it was anticipation. It was like what a joy to share it with such beautiful people. Ones that show up here every morning with me. Because that is where it starts, is right here. And what does it feel like? It feels like every day. Feels like just right now. Like, how does it feel for you? Because it's the same thing. It's just your creation.
Yeah, it feels normal.
Yeah.
Feels normal.
Feels like
Everything that-
life to me,
Yeah.
life itself.
Yes.
And all the miracles that are there that we can appreciate, that we can
Mhm.
create, or that we can be
Mhm.
pissed about, whatever one you want.
Exactly. Yeah, I haven't said my word also, Pascal. So I'll wait for you. I'll go after you.
Okay. Yeah, for me, it feels like, it feels big, right? Like your passion, all that, but it feels also like nothing is impossible. Right? That's how I feel. Like nothing is impossible. So my word today is freedom. And it seems the more I have knowledge and wisdom, the more I'm free. And I was learning from the book, I think it's called The End of All Evil by Jeremy Locke. And he was telling how authority tried to suppress us. But when you know how they do it, I thought like maybe I will feel scared in a way. But the knowledge that I got from this book, I haven't finished it. I'm probably like a third of it. It's a pretty small book. It's freeing. Knowledge is freeing. Like I really feel free this morning. And I can recognize patterns. The way this pandemic, the way war is working, the way it's all patterns. And when you understand that, then you're like, okay, this is where they're at. So it's really understand that chess game. And yeah, make your move. So yeah, mine is freedom. So Nikki, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you for that introduction, Pascal. I will take the offer. I will be practicing. That's so cool. I love it. I really do love the passion, the heart-centered, the freedom. And this morning, my word for the day is purpose. And I just felt like I read you something because it really came to me that I'm very, very grateful for. Firstly, I wanted to say shift into the creative orientation, reclaim your power back and choose what you want to create as a conscious creator. But now you've always remembered the moment you shift into that creative orientation. And I really felt that yesterday. As I was sharing, I was feeling the shift. And as I listened to the replay yesterday, I really giggled and I laughed, and it just was so refreshing to realize that I actually am in the creative orientation. This is what it is, right? Because it is reality, big shift. It's a big shift when you come into the creative orientation, right? And so it's the moment your life changes. And yesterday, I could actually feel my life change. Like I am, when, you know, being in it, knowing it, you know, and just living it. And every breath that I can take now, this is basically the conscious, and that's it. So what I also wanted to share in this understanding that it changes from other things. People have the power over you to take the power back in choosing what you're going to create as a conscious creator. And so you don't have to fix anything to become a conscious creator. And this is my work of starting, you know, from the beginning with Magnetic Minds for the 3 years of being educated and being around people that are conscious and trying to, you know, do the work. And now it's become effortless. It's just what it is. Like, this is who I am. And it's so really the coolest thing ever. It's just the coolest thing. And it gives me great purpose because, you know, you ask yourself, even from a very young age, you get to know, like, what is your purpose? You don't know what your purpose is, you know, you're still like going through life, puberty, all these things, you know, I mean, how can you know? So when you get to the place of just being a constructive, you know, creative and orientation, that is just it does become effortless. It's just what it is. And I am that person, you know, I am that person. So it's very, very exciting to come into my purpose. So that's my word for the day. Thank you.
No, thank you. Yeah, I really love your passion behind your words. It's coming really alive to me when I hear you. Like yesterday, you know what? Like I was thinking, like, I think your next move is maybe a TED Talk. You know, like big talk.
Well,
You know,
I got to
like,
thank you, Pascal. I got to also thank you for that. You know, I mean, not just for everybody on whoever shares and participates, but, you know, to go into your heart, as Craig also said, to be heart-centered and to go into your heart and be authentic is not the most popular thing. Not everybody, you know, like you say, when you disagree, they're not going to like you. Or, you know what I mean? It's when you speak your truth or be your truth. It's not the easiest thing. It really isn't, because, you know, society wants to mold you. And if you're just a little different, and I've always been different, but now I actually celebrate my difference. And I realize that, yeah, I had the opportunity that literally, like you proposed and said, excuse me, my voice, you said, I hear you, Nikki, but I'm not really hearing you. And that was like, whoa, wow, he really wants to hear me. This is like for head knowledge, you know? And I think that comes with, because you always have to be cautious. I was so cautious and so aware of what I say, when I say it, should I say it. But when there was the introduced, well, you asked me to go into my heart and speak from my heart. And that's what I took the offer. I took the offer proposal. I took it and I said, okay, you know, and now it's so freeing, because this is freeing for me. This is freedom for me, right? Yeah, to speak from my heart and know that I can be vulnerable and know that I know what, you know, I'm not going to get all deep, because I also know who to speak to. You know, I'm not going to just shout it out on the rooftops, yeah? But it is wonderful when you're coming to this inner circle of being able to really come and open yourself up, you know, to the learnings, because I'm all about the learnings, teaching and the learnings. So I want to thank you, because that to me is my freedom.
no, it's beautiful. And what I would say about purpose, because purpose has been in my mind for quite a long time in my life. You know, like you said, like in high school when they say like, oh, what you want to do in life, you know, and for me it was, I don't know, it was too early, but what I would say is like, you don't need to know your full purpose. You know, it's nice to be clear on that, but like, just follow your highest excitement, your highest joy. Like, it can be just a very small purpose for now, but like, you know, you plant seed and be like, okay, yeah, that's what I'd love to do, you know, and you start small, if that's the case, and it just grows and grows and grows, right? So, you know,
It gets clearer with each step.
yeah, exactly.
Exactly. And it gets clearer with each
But
step by step.
Yeah, the key, you have to take the step.
That's it.
Not
really,
it's unsafe to take that first step.
Yeah, because it's the uncertainty. It's the unknown. Yeah, it's really, it's really is scary. But once you know that, what was it really about? Was that it? What was that? Was it that? You know?
Which is just information that says, oh, you care about that.
Yeah. Yes. It's very exciting, man.
And we're afraid of that. And we're afraid of that is why it's silly.
I'm going to read something that I would like to share. When you learn how to step into the creative structure and turn your thoughts into things, you realize that you're not broken and you can have what it is that you choose just the way you like.
Thank you for that.
I'm going to step in here before it gets too far away, but Jesse just said my word of the day. And so I'm going to point out what that is. My word was clearing, which is about making room, creating space. Which for me is the first step for everything. And just having an attitude of anticipation and adventure as to what wants to occupy that space. Theme for me the last week has been make more room.
No idea what that means, right? It's just it keeps showing up. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
What does that mean? The point is, it draws your attention to it.
Yeah.
It must mean it matters. Why else would we be drawn towards it, to it?
The more clearing I do, the more clarity shows up.
Which is opposite of what we thought.
Yep.
Right? We thought the more we jammed in there, the clearer it would become.
Or the more we define it.
The more we
the clearer
define
it
it.
will become. And I
Right.
find it's the opposite to that.
So restricting.
Yeah. Definition is restricting. It creates its own limits.
Yeah, it was quite interesting. Just a day before yesterday, I received a communication saying I'm going to go do it this way. And I sat with that and it's like, okay, there's a pattern, right? That's a pattern. And I'm sitting there, it's
Yep.
like, you're going to go get information that's wrong. Even though that's their role, that is their job, and that is what they quote unquote care about in that role, you're going to go get the wrong information. Okay, you can go do that. Yes, we'll get some inside information that'll help later on, but it's not going to get us to the first one. It's not going to get us to the first yes. And it was just acknowledge the pattern. It's like, yeah, no, that's wrong information. Because they don't know what they're talking about. Because this is that new and radical. There's no boundaries for it. That's why we're shooting for a big one.
Yeah. Well, and that's a societal pattern too. It's like, okay, so
Oh,
if we get more information, it will make things better. And it very seldom does. Usually it creates a lot more confusion.
Yeah, that's exactly. It adds complexity because complexity is valuable.
Right. Or perceived to be.
But when you show simple, then it breaks down that chain. It breaks it all down. When you go right at the simplicities, it breaks down all of the complexities that people put around their structures. Oh, another word for that would be power. Oh, and I just marvel in 400 years of changing it, that 400 years of awakening to our power. I mean, moving from the center of the universe at, kings and that they could rule with, like there's thousands of years of just rule, right? And when you're the center of, when everything rotates around the earth is the center of the universe. It's like, oh, wow, there's not much more to think about. There's not much space. Or put it this way, there's a limited space that says, like, I have to listen to the authority, see the patterns.
Yeah.
I have to yield to it. I have to be all of that. And it's like, no, there's more choices. It's like, wow, just 400 years, 200 years of a democracy working together, known as the United States. Wow. And how far I've come in 105 days, or whatever my number is. I don't even know now. 4, I think. Wow.
Yeah.
So my insight is, so it seems like they're looking for authority, but you're acting as a guide. So you're acting above. And it's tough to be like it's between, like, say, like a father and like a guide. And it's hard to navigate between the two. But it's like they're almost looking at someone that's going to tell them, no, they need to hear that no, 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 and then they'll come back to you. So it's like, you're giving them a direct path for success, but then they're just zigzagging. That's how I see it.
Mhm.
And it's tough to just like, it's like almost like if you're your higher self, to look yourself like through life, it might be hard to be like, no, Pascal, you shouldn't be doing this, but like they're not intervening and like they're not stopping you, but they're guiding you, right? And so like you're just looking above and looking at it like playing out.
Mm.
It's a beautiful spot to be.
That's not taking it personal.
Yeah.
Great awareness.
Yes.
Thank you, Pascal. Brilliant wisdom.
Very awesome.
Mhm.
And I remember how I would resist asking people, what they care about or what they want or how they would like to put it together. And what I'm seeing now is that is the best way to put things together. It is the greatest glue.
Just like Craig said yesterday, a lot of people, like himself, if I can speak for what he said about not knowing what he wanted, but what he didn't want. And that's a lot of times people don't know what they want. That's the question. Like, what do you want? And you never get told. Like, from my own experience, from my own upbringing, I was never told, what do you want, Nikki? How would you like it? I was told. I was reprimanded. And I had to follow through in what others wanted. And that gave me lack of my self-worth, that it didn't matter what I wanted. And that's where I put myself in the bottom of the list because it didn't matter. And, how you internalize that is really how your behavior becomes, because it's what your identity is really showing from within. So it doesn't matter what you're really showing, it's what you're feeling. But when you get to that point where somebody says, what do you want? Like, what do you want? It's like, oh, okay. And then you get to choose. What do you want? Do you want the steak or you want the fish? Like, what do you want? And it's so obvious. That was so obvious when that happened. And I went, wow, yeah, because you can't have everything, but you can have anything, right?
That's right.
And that to me opens like a whole different perspective of saying, finally, I can go for what I want.
Yeah, what your heart wants is the only thing that matters. That's your passion that wants to be released.
And the purpose is the structure to it, right? So
Yep.
the riverbeds of this passion, it's like that's what we're creating it with is the purposes, the structures, seeing it, realizing it, opening it up, making space for others to come in and flow, making it bigger.
The first part of that for me was getting a taste of my true nature
Mm.
to start with. And as I exercise my true nature, my true purpose comes to light.
Mhm.
And there's a practice that's emerging from that. The practice of taking that to the world, to all of humanity. Thank you, you guys, for this morning, because I'm realizing that I've created something extraordinary.
Absolutely, because this is what's happening right now. It's happening right now as we're speaking. Because this is what people really need to know. This work
Yeah.
is very, very, very important and much needed. And it's starting right now.
Yeah. Did you notice my language?
Yeah, but I'm speaking from my language because it's a metaphor. So I'm
Yeah,
speaking from a
yeah.
part, not to take it personally. It's about me talking about the fact that what you just said is very, very important. And I heard it. But what I am saying also is what is happening right now is basically going to all the corners of the earth right now. Because once this is
Yes.
released, once this recording is released on YouTube, as a person that I'm in this group, but I got to listen to it yesterday randomly because it just came because it's on YouTube. So somebody like myself, somewhere in the countries where they don't have this work, they don't know anything about creative structure, don't know anything about choices, don't know about anything about you have the power to choose. They get to hear this YouTube and this can change their life, the trajectory of their life, the family, and that's how it starts. It starts with us doing it right here, right now. Not the bigger picture, it's this right here. And this is where the intention I feel in my heart. This is why I'm sharing. This is why I feel that this is the inner circle of knowing that it's going to go all corners of the earth and it's going to touch people that we can't touch because we're only one person. We can't be touching the whole world. So the fact that we get to do this is very, very important. It's not to take lightly. This is when change happens.
And that's how you use technology wisely. Like you said, like you're just one person, but you can you can touch like so many people using technology.
Yeah, that's it.
And we're doing it before the proof.
Amen. That's the exciting part. That's the exciting part, because everybody wants the proof. Prove me, prove me, prove me.
Yeah, but there's nothing to prove.
Oh, yes, there is. Oh, yes, there is. Maybe in your in understanding of where you are now, and you have that understanding, but now we're talking to a whole different audience. We're not talking to just people that from Magnetic Minds now. We're talking about people that are unknown about nothing. And that's what they need to hear. There's nothing to prove. Of course, there's nothing to prove. You have it all. But yeah, you got to start from the basics, eh? They haven't got the education that we had. They didn't go through certain things that what you programmed and taught.
Money.
So this
Yeah.
is, and the money that they can spend. I'm talking about, this is where, you know, it goes to everybody that has the level of, you can meet them where they are. And this is where I'm very grateful to hold the space, because I also know the levels that I have been in, and I've jumped the gun, and you know, it's just a nice space to be able to maturely look at it and say, I see you, know where you are now. I understand. There's nothing, you know, and it's very innocent when you look at people's hearts. Look at their heart, not what they're coming out of their mouths, but listen to their heart. And this is where I'm listening now. This is where I'm practicing listening.
Boom.
Yeah, it's very powerful.
Boom.
Yeah, boom, boom, shakala. Boom, shakala. That's what I
Drop the mic.
Drop
That's why I love.
Shakala,
That's
drop
why I
the
love.
mic,
That's
buddy.
why I love standing next to you. That's why I love standing next to you.
Yeah, drop the mic. That's it.
What an amazing hour.
And I found it's so beautiful that we create from nothing. We create from one word or 4 words, you know?
Hmm.
And it's just like, it's amazing to me, like that, like we come in the morning. I mean, like I'll talk for myself, but I don't come here. Like I prepare myself mentally, right? Like I'm calm, like I've done breathing, whatever, but like it's not like, oh, I'm gonna talk about this. No, you know, it's just like it just comes to me. So, and I think like this, it's amazing that, you know, we can create from nothing.
Isn't that just beautiful? And that's what I feel, the unknown. You don't have to figure it out. Now that we're talking in the inner circle, the 4 of us, right? The 5 of us, that we don't have to figure it out. It's going to the unknown. It's just like the obvious thing to do, you know, and that's the word that we use. English is a metaphor. It's just a matter of where and how we see it, and we can play now. It's a game. We can just play. It's just a game, like, you know. And it's true. I mean, yeah, it's just what it is. It's just wonderful to come in a space and say, yeah, I am. I show up, and this is my word for the day. This is what's coming to me, and blah blah blah, and we take it from there. And then we just come with a whole new ideas. That's how ideas create. That's how we create with our, you know, with our imagination, with what we're feeling, what's coming up, what is it for you, how does it feel? Yeah, it's beautiful. I totally hear you.
I just want to stop and not acknowledge the unseen element of everything. And when I said that I realized I had created something extraordinary. What was created was energetic. And whether anybody actually heard it or not, all 104 days that we've been doing this, we've been creating stuff that has changed the energy template of the whole planet. Whether anybody knows that or not. I know it. And I sense that a lot of other people, a lot of other souls on the planet know it as well.
Sounds like more clarity towards a purpose, towards a passion.
Yep. Yep.
And then, yeah, it's like life is about fighting for bringing that into existence.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Well, and the thing is, acknowledging what's not obvious. Okay. I mean, the things that we've learned are kind of obvious, and the things that we've experienced are kind of obvious, but our global impact is not.
Mm-hmm.
But that, because it's not obvious, doesn't make it any less true.
Nope. Or the intention's already built into it.
Well,
Right?
exactly.
And
Yeah.
the intention's already built into it. That's what's the beauty of creation. I just know if we kept it here alone by ourselves and it ended, then it's just done with the four of us. That sounds like a way. It's not a full waste of our time, but it's a pretty big chunk of it, of what it could be.
Yeah, but every day we do this, we create a new organism.
Until we don't do it.
A continuum. Well, yeah. But those have a life of their own.
Mm-hmm. The point is, it'll be another choice. It's the whole point. It'll be another choice point. Nothing more than that. Like nothing to take it personal or anything with. Like Pascal says, rise above it. Look down at it. Look at all the perspectives and how it could affect people. See, the power of could as a creator is just magnificent.
I had this image of we're just creating babies everywhere.
Yeah, we are.
And the babies are floating everywhere, and then people are nurturing them if they want to. Yeah, there's a lot of baby in my mind anyway. Because like every morning you say you put a title on what we've done, and that's a new creation, that's a new baby, and we let it float, right? So it goes in the atmosphere, like on the internet and all that, and then other people like pick from it and be like, oh, I can add this, I can feed this baby.
I love
Yeah.
that. I love that, Pascal, because as a baby has to start with milk. it can't eat solid food. It can only digest the milk, right? And that's the time that they have to take the milk. And then it is time that they start with solid foods. So this is how you treat people that's coming into this work like a baby. You feed them the milk. You give them the basics. And then later on, when they're ready, you can start giving them solids, because then they can digest it. But if you go all out and give them no education of what is to know of being a conscious creator, it's overwhelming. It's too much information. Just like a recode, little by little. But if you go all in and try to just clean it out, it's overwhelming. It's too much. Too much of anything is not good. A little bit by little bit by little bit. And then they can be able to eat the solid and then feed themselves. Because that's what coaching is about. Not about nurture. It's nurturing, but allowing them to also be able to nurture themselves, that they can stand on their own 2 feet. And they're capable. They're powerful. So that's how it starts. Starts with everybody, every human.
Boom, drop the mic.
Got a couple mics if
Yeah, man, I know.
Well, that is really cool, because to be honest, I just had a wonderful Zoom session yesterday where it's narrated to where and what I am going to be as a keynote speaker, because that's what I am. And that's what I'm choosing too. And that took a while in the making, but now I've claimed it. And to hear the drop the mic, it's just like a metaphor to say, thank you. You just confirmed it. And your introduction this morning, Pascal, you introduced me like I was coming on stage. And it's not about coming on stage, just coming on a platform, you know? So I celebrate that, because that is real intuition of showing me that you don't even know, but you've confirmed it. You've confirmed it. Today it's confirmed. There's no doubt in my mind, but still I have confirmation. And that is just grounded. I've just grounded it now. So this is where you go, drop the mic, baby. I go, yeah, drop the mic. You know what I'm saying? I see you. I see you. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you.
Yes, people will be able to look back and said it started there.
Exactly. And
that's
that's
cool.
the journey. That's the journey. That's the journey. That's the adventure of realizing where it started, you know? And then you get to, like, you know, visualize it and know that no matter where you are in the world, you never know, you know. You could be in my audience. You can be there, as you are already in my audience. You're already in my audience. You know, you could say, well, that's a cocky. Yeah, call it cocky. But you're already in my audience. Yeah, and that's what you want to see. Who do you want to talk to? Who do you want to bring this message to? Who do you want to associate with? Like, this is my audience right here, right now. As much as you coaches, as much as I see you as my inner circle, and I'm very sacred to me, but that's what I see. And that's the beginning of visualizing. This is the visualizing of imagination, of allowing to say, You can play it any way you want it.
Creators gathering.
Oh, it's nothing better than this. It doesn't get better than this. Honestly, I am so grateful. It doesn't get better than this. And I understand now about the conscious creator orientation, because you hear it constantly through the years. You hear it, yeah. But when you're really in it, and you are living it in every aspect of every thought, action, feeling, emotion, whew, it's like, yeah, right on. Because let me tell you, when you're in that place, you only create. There's no other thing to do is to create. Creating right now, creating. it's like, I'm not gonna like go on about it, because yesterday I went on about it so much that I thought I was like flying. But I'm like, really, honestly, that's all I can say for what it's worth. I think you get it. I think you get it.
We do, thank you. Releasing passion. So the world can hear it, can see it, can get behind it. Even when they don't, standing in it just makes me stronger, but that's not the right word. It's like the challenge almost. It's like, oh, well, I see it. Why don't others see it? What is it there? There. How do I help them? How do I guide them? How do I let them make their choices? Holding their passion. There it is. Through the heart, through the focus, the reflection, the resistance that's just information saying, well, this is important to pay attention. Nothing to run away from. It's not fearful. And when it is, run away, hide, protect yourself. But when it's safe, look at it. Why can't I have that? What do I love? Why does that bother me?
Very powerful questions. These are the questions you have to ask yourself. Honestly, that's it. You just said it.
In 7 days, when I said, oh, you know what, I'm happy in 7 days. It was like, all right, what's next?
Yeah.
Damn it, that was supposed to take 30 days, right?
Wow. Yeah.
7. Now what do we do?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. It's yeah.
Mm.
Mm.
I'm gonna go deliver coffee.
Yeah, that's it. King of the jungle. That's what I say. King of the jungle. Go, go, lion. Do a little roll there while you give the lion. When you give the coffee, give a little roll. Let's see what.
I won't be back for 5 minutes if we do that.
Oh. I love it.
Yeah, roll on your head, but like keep the cup like standing upright, you know. That's the image I get. And then you get up and be like, here's your coffee.
Oh my God.
It is nothing like that. It is nothing like that at all. It is a beautiful smile and she is grateful. So I love that.
Oh, and I bet you that is something that really makes the world of difference for her day to start. I can tell you this. That to me is very romantic.
Yeah.
It's incredibly romantic.
First thing,
And
and
thoughtful.
I
Oh
hate
my
getting
God.
out of bed when it's cold, you know. It's like,
Amen. I know. Who does want to go out of bed when it's cold? Trust me. Yeah, it's overcast and it's starting to rain. And yeah, who wants to wake up early in the morning? Yeah, well, no one. But
that's why you jump in the cold shower, right?
I'm telling you, this is it. I'm like, it's now. I do a whole full 3 minutes. Oh, and let me
Nice.
tell you, when I do that, like literally, it's like, are you kidding me? Are you really kidding me now? Oh, you know, my husband said, you are crazy, right? I said, yeah, that's why you married me.
Is that weird that, like, you know, you take your cold shower for 3 minutes and then you get out and then you're warm?
Absolutely. It's the most,
You know?
because it's, yeah.
But you take a warm shower and then you get out and then
It's hit your whole cells in your
cooler,
body. It's
right?
woken it up. It's
Because you're
rejuvenated.
cooler than the ambient temperature, right? So
Yeah.
so you feel warm.
Yeah, cold therapy is very healthy for the body. So there's so much benefits to doing that. And you know, I started just having the end of my shower, a few minutes. You know, I started like that. I didn't go like these people do it like forever. And then I did it for 30 seconds, and then I did it for a minute. And then I started like that every half 30 minutes, and then I added on. And now I don't think I need to do any more, because when I did an ice bath, I did it for 10 minutes. And my Russian friend in Big Room, she said, "Oh, Nico, you sure you're not Russian?" I said, "No." She said, because in Russia, they do that, but they don't do it for 10 minutes. I said, "Oh my God." I said, "Really?" She says, "Yeah, you don't do it for 10 minutes. You get frostbite." I go, "Oh my God." Thank God nothing happened. But it was like, after a few minutes, you start getting like, okay. It's like, okay. You know what I mean? It's your body's it's just like you sit and you wait for the time. But I said, "Oh, I won't be doing that again." She said, "No, you don't do 10 minutes." I said, "Okay." And then I looked it up and I said, "No, you don't do 10 minutes. It's not healthy to do it for that long." Oh my God. Thank God nothing happened. So she said, "You could have like seriously damaged and you hurt yourself." I don't want to do that. I want to help myself.
Yeah,
But
so you're practicing being comfortable of being uncomfortable.
Oh, that's so powerful. Oh my God. That is so powerful. And like I said, you know, when you said that, it's like, yeah, that's it. Yeah. And that resistance now that makes me uncomfortable. Like, remember yesterday when you said, you know, when you wanted to speak as a speaker, it's going to be uncomfortable the first time. And honestly, I mean, yeah, it's so uncomfortable. But when you start practicing more and more and more, it's a practice. And then you just you get confident as you practice it, you know? So it's really cool. It's
and do you
really
have to
cool
fix
to
yourself? Do you have to fix yourself to be a good speaker? No, you don't. Oh,
no.
That's new. That's new.
Isn't it just amazing? Like, honestly, I used to go back, like I can go back and think of how to figure it out, you know, and now it's like, no. And that to me is the creative constructive orientation of just doing it. And just doing it and knowing that it's going to be uncomfortable. Like you said yesterday, it's uncomfortable. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought you had to take courses and.
No, listen, I did educate myself with Magnetic Minds. I did the whole curriculum. Absolute. I'm not questioning about that. That's what I went through the whole curriculum. I mean, the whole thing, except for mastery in Magnetic Minds. But I did the Conscious Creator, I did the intuition, transformation, the Magnetic Minds, all the immersions. There's immersion happening right now as I speak with intuition, with Hannah taking it now. And but I'm going to get the replay for that. And then like it's been on like this for the last 3 years of my life. You know, I've dedicated it and be consistent with it, and I've applied the work. But like what I'm saying is coming from a current reality, and what I'm choosing now. It's that resistance where I used to think I don't know enough. For example, I'm not capable enough, that kind of thing. Oh, I've got to learn, I've got to know much. Yeah, of course you have to learn. There's certain things you have to learn, right? But it's not like, it's not stopping me.
So you're saying you don't need to be perfect.
Oh God, thank you. Yes. Thank you, God. Thank you. Yeah, exactly. And that was a real bomb drop for me. Like, wow. The perfection used to drive me insane. Like literally, I used to drive myself insane. I always thought it had to be a certain way. It had to show up like this. It had to be like this. I've got to be like this. I've got to have this. Oh God, just go on and on and on and on. And it's just so exhausting. And I was just so tired. And I think a lot of people are tired. They're walking, being tired. You know, they need to suffer. You don't need to go through all that. And just like Jesse said yesterday, you don't need this meeting. You don't have to suffer. You don't have to suffer. Oh my gosh. Oh. So yeah, it's just, and I went through the process. I went through processes, you know, I went through it all. So, and I'm still going through it. And this is what's so beautiful. It's unfolding more and more and more and more. And I think, oh my God, does it get any better than this? And then I just come to the next session and next session. And it's like, okay. It's just, yeah, blissful. It's blissful. It's blissful to know that you're not broken.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with you.
Unfortunately, this was such a disservice to that community. But as my good friend Allison says, off to bigger and better things.
Yeah, after bigger, what? Isaac?
After bigger and better things.
Bigger and better things. Bigger and better things. Yeah. Yeah.
Saving the world. That was what I needed to go do.
I had a client yesterday. It was very special to hear that she said she's not attached to anything anymore. You know, she's really not attached to her house. She's not attached to material things. She's not attached to the money in the bank. She's not attached to anything. I mean, she said, Nikki, if I had to pick myself up now and go to another country, I'll be just fine. I said, yes, you will. And that's a beautiful place to be. That's really, you know, I think personally, just making the best of what she has and what she knows that she can have as a creator. Because now I'm talking to somebody that is a creator, right?
Yeah.
This is a person that is actually herself is a coach too. So she also
Mhm.
knows, like,
Mm.
and so as I, as we were speaking, and yeah, that's it. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful place to be.
Nothing better than to hear that.
Yeah, it's nothing. It was oh so good.
Because when you're going to be like on your last few days on this planet,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to have to let it go.
Correct.
So if you're able to practice this right now,
Oh, it's so good. Yeah.
that's huge.
Yeah, it was huge. Very much. Yeah.
And it's funny for me, like I used to be very attached to my material thing, and then like
Yeah.
didn't used to like really traveling experience things. I rather like I was always comparing, okay, this trip is like $3,000, or I can get like a gym equipment for $3,000, and I choose the gym equipment. But now, like every time I buy
or the
something,
mountain bike,
oh, and the mountain bike, yeah, that one.
The biking bike, yeah.
But now it's like, if I don't use what I buy, it's like, it hurts me. I don't know. Like, it's just like, I'm like, why do I have this thing? And why did I really want this thing? And now I'm not even using it.
Yeah.
Because I thought like the trip was a loss of money.
Yeah, man. I'm sore flowers. They just die. My love will not die for you like these flowers.
Yeah, and then what you realize, like, what you're taking with you when you're done here, then it's your experience, it's your knowledge, it's your wisdom. It's not that mountain bike, it's not that gym equipment, it's nothing like your car, it's none of that.
It's what we leave.
Yeah, that's it. It's what we leave. Yeah.
And it's like we can leave the material things to rot and degrade and fall apart and throw in the landfill, or we can leave people changing their lives. People can see they have a choice. They are a powerful creator. They can choose happiness. It's like, yeah, that to me was more important than any material or cash. Because to me, that was more money than currency.
And how many people here wants to be sovereign?
I never thought about it. And one, I don't ever think I've ever used that word. So none.
But everybody are sovereign. But we get laws and authority try to tell us that we're not free.
Yep. And it's a fine line, structure and chaos. In our patterns are to fight. It's pretty amazing that we can keep peace as long as we can. The point is that we just keep coming that, we're not having the right conversations, which is why it's not working. So when we see that there's more that we can create out of it rather than creating conflict. You know, the word legacy comes for me for that. You know, it's like legacy. It's like my kids, my children. I see the patterns of mine, my money patterns in my son. You know, it's a scarcity money pattern. So aware of his money. Oh, I won't do that because of this. And it's like, sorry, the money and the currency. See how easy I can even confuse them.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the real money is that he's the practice of aware of what he's spending it on. You know, and my partner is too. They're very conscious of the cost. And it's like, well, profit is a derivative of revenue and expense. So many people just think of profit as the expense component. And so let me carve out more expenses. Let me reduce the expenses. And I say, well, why not just increase the revenue? Wait, we can't do that. Right, because we've stretched everything to the ends of it already, right? The efficiencies of Industrial Revolution number 3 with tools of the computer, we can stretch, and I love that word, stretch the efficiencies. Until there's no more efficiencies. What does the system do then when there's no more efficiencies to squeeze out of it? You know, COVID happens. And now we're trying to put it all back together.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is try and put it all back together the way that it was. Why?
Yeah, it was a broken structure. Why would you do that, right?
It's safe, right? Or control had it,
Yeah.
or I mean, you can point to whatever you want.
But it was funny to me that, you know, when COVID hit, some people rise above and some people hide from it. You know, some people
And
thought about it,
some people fight it, and some people fight it.
and some people fight it.
Yeah, of course, like
To keep it the
everything.
same. It's just,
And if you start to notice, people have a tendency of that pattern in their life, in every aspect of life. We call it the sabotaging pattern. And it's like, oh, if my tendency is to avoid, run away from, or hide from any conflict, resistance, or uncomfortableness, a risk, or any of that, then it's like, that's your tendency, is to hide. Great. What are you hiding from? Will it hurt you? Or maybe is it what you want is through it? I guarantee it's that one. Or are you fighting it? That was mine. I was fighting it. Fight, fight, fight. I was fight, aggressive, right? Push, force, power, greed. Yeah, take, take, take. Why was I fighting? Oh, to win. Why was I so I wouldn't lose? I had to win because that would prove that I was enough, would validate I was good enough. And like you said, then rise above that and be like, oh, that doesn't matter. That's not important. Huh. 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 Weird. I've been lied to my whole life. Wow, that's cool.
Oh my God, that's it. Yes,
By
that's
well-intended
it.
people. Well-intended people. My parents, my
Well-intended
teachers,
Yes, yes, Jesse. Oh
my
my
friends, right? And
Yes.
it's like a well-intended, but they all lied to me
goodness.
because they're lying to themselves.
Yes.
Because I was lying to myself when I said, "Oh, I can't do that. I guess I can't have what I want. I guess I'm not a creator. I guess you're right. I should play like everyone else, and I should like keep my heart quiet, and I should protect myself, and I should like defend it, and I can't show emotions, and the only emotions that I will allow is when I get angry, because that one's okay, because that is what leaders do. And if I'm a leader that's going to change the world, I don't know how the hell that's going to be possible. But then I have to really get people to hear me, and I get frustrated when they don't. And oh, that's a horrible pattern. Really? Is that winning? Ugh. I'm just pushing people away and I'm damn alone. And then I'll start being me and people don't like that. Huh. Oh, that's cool too. I guess I'm alone again. And then you find the right people. And that makes all the difference. And I'll amen myself on that one.
I'll join you. Amen to that. Amen and amen.
Yeah, that's awesome.
The game changers, the creative changers, creative transition. It's like, awareness is just the first step. Creation is where all of it happens. Everything else is just an ante to the big stage, huh, Nikki?
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm so like listening. It's just music to my ears because I cannot agree anymore. This is yeah. It's just like, yeah. And that's what it is, it's just, yeah, coming to that realization and knowing that this is how we stand up in the front, and lead by example.
So let's call it 100 plus days. I don't know the exact number, but if we were to meet 100 days, if we were to stretch that out for once a week, do you know that's over 2 years?
Yes. Whoa.
In under a quarter, or just over a quarter. It's like that's the velocity difference.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And then we usually go for 2 hours. So double that.
Wow.
Tell me the value of 90 days.
Mm.
It's about 4 years it took us to learn it, huh, Nikki?
Absolute, eh? Action, camera, and lights. Here we go. Action, camera, and lights. Action,
And
camera,
and
lights.
and that's what happens when
Oh.
if you don't ever change your program.
Oh God, thank you. Yes.
You're gonna get back. You're gonna get past.
Mhm.
Leapfrogged, irrelevant.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what happens when you're not in your heart.
Oh, thank you, God. Yes, that's it. Thank you.
That's what happens when you're chasing your sabotaging pattern, your dysfunction.
Oh,
That's when it's
yeah.
guiding you, is when you're in that. And
Yeah.
you're blind to it and you get run over.
Yeah. And just like Pascal mentioned, gave a few questions out to me saying, throw it out and say, oh, so you don't have to be perfect. I go, oh, yeah. And there's nothing to fix. I go, oh, yeah. And it's like, those little things where, yeah, it was a structure. It was completely in the, yeah. And, like I said, I'm not I'm not what I create. It's just structure. It's just what it is. It's structural. And I know because I was lied to myself, but I also lied to myself too, because what I believed. And most people, if not everybody's been lied to. They get lied every day to. We start from the government if you want to get all political. I mean, it's lies from the top. So it's chaos from the bottom. How can you expect anything to? And this is when you got to stand and say, "Oh, I gotta do something different here. I can't be like the lamb going to the slaughterhouse."
Right.
Because that's what it is. We lambs going to the slaughterhouse.
And I
Or
can make
lambs
it
with the wolves.
Yeah.
I can make it even smaller. It comes from probably authority, right? Authority is your parents, is your
Absolute.
teachers,
Yeah.
So, and I feel like why they're trying to keep you small, it's because if you get too big, that will stretch them.
Exactly.
And
now
they cannot
that
allow
is it.
that. They cannot allow that.
Yeah, because it's pride. You see, pride becomes before destruction. It's pride. So it's like like you should know everything at a certain time in your life as a parent, for example. My father was driven by fear. He was driven by fear. Yeah. And I never saw, you don't see that as a young child because you just see a very, very strict, strong, it's like his word was his word and you just followed through. But as I got older, a little older, I got to really witness his fear. He had fear, but also he saw himself in me because as 5 girls, he wanted a son. I mean, that's the obvious. He wanted a son, but he took me as his son. Do you know what I mean? He saw himself in me. And that's where I got the most discipline out of all 4 sisters, all 5 of us. I mean, including me. I'm just giving, because he even said, "You're lucky you're not a boy." And my mother even confirmed that. She said, "Yeah, because I don't think you'll be able to get up from the floor if you were a boy." Now, let's just get down to that. And so giving that understanding is that's where all my program was to, I gotta prove myself here because, I gotta be perfect. I just gotta, because there's no other, you have to come first. You know, it's like there's no other option. Yeah.
And that's awareness to be able to dissect this.
Yeah.
To be like, yeah, my dad was projecting fears on me.
Total fears, anxiety, being anxious, couldn't fail, couldn't make mistakes even.
It's like, if I'm
Couldn't
in
even make,
fear,
oh,
you
he's
have to be
driven.
in fear.
Absolute. Yeah, absolute. Yeah, that's it. That's exactly what it was.
You cannot be free, right?
No, totally not. I fought for my freedom. I mean, I did. I really did, you know. But yeah, he had the rails that till I was a certain age. Then there was like, this is what I'm going to do now. But it was, yeah, it wasn't easy.
So yeah. Oh, you go ahead, Jesse, if you get something to say.
I was thinking a book that I was reading. They experimented with cats, and they built rooms that either had just horizontal lines or vertical lines in the room. So they painted, it was a singular room, and they would just paint the lines on it so that it would appear. And they was wondering, like, how would the cats react? And it would take them. And so what they would do is they would take these cats after they got used to these are like kittens, right? They'd raise these kittens in these rooms. And then they would take them and put them in a room that had these like with a table, right? They had either perpendicular or parallel lines. Sorry, not perpendicular, up or down or vertical or horizontal. And they said that cats would not see one of the lines. Like a table, if they were in a vertical room, if they were put on a table, it would scare them because they could not pick up that vertical object. It was blind to them. So they would take a stick, and certain cats would follow the stick, because when they held it horizontal, the cats would follow it. And as soon as they went vertical, the other group of cats would start following it.
Whew.
It is so, and it's like, that is, and it said they would get in their environment, and it would take them about 8 hours, and they would adjust to the new perception. And what it was, they were just acknowledging all of the rewiring in the brain because of the new environment. It's like, that is happening unconsciously.
Sure. Yeah, 98% of the time. 98% of the time, if not 100, I think. I'm starting to say it's 100, because forget about the 99. You know, it's 100. I honestly,
for most,
and
for
most,
yeah.
yeah. And yeah, so yeah, wow.
And so when you can change that big pattern that runs more than 51% of your life, you've just made a huge change in your life.
Total. Big time. So good. Thank you for that demonstration. That was awesome. That's really cool. Meow.
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 The giggles.
Oh, meow.
There is so much flavor in your voice. I love it.
Oh, thanks.
And variety.
Well, it's coming. I gotta give it to both of you. I mean, you like literally, like, yeah, it's practicing. It's like you said yesterday, can I practice? And I said, isn't that interesting that you're asking us, because I feel that I'm practicing to my audience now. And that's, to me, obviously it's familiar, and that's what I need to feel, because I have to gain the confidence. And that starts, you know, with practicing. And then you know, then it's a give and take, because I know what it's just very pleasant. It's a pleasant experience. And that's what I want to experience. I want to experience pleasantness. Not just pleasing what you want to hear, but pleasant, like it's pleasant.
Easy,
Easy,
simple, and
simple,
silly.
and silly. I love that. Yeah, because you can't, I think what I think you both got great sense of humors. Yeah, you got really good sense of humor. And it's like on the dry side, because what was that? Oh, yeah. And you laugh about it because you don't think it's going to be a joke or it's going to come out, But it's yesterday, I got to tell you, when I listened to the recode, oh my God, it was so funny. I started just laughing. And then when Pascal forgot, and then like I was saying to you, the lion, and then oh I got it, and you come on, But it was very spontaneous, really in the moment, and I think that's what picks up the audience, where people can feel they can relate to this, because we're just ordinary people doing extraordinary things. That's what we're doing here, and when people can see that it's a reflection of resonate, that they can feel, oh, well, they're doing it. They I can also do that, And I think that's where we are.
Yep.
So it's a very pleasant. It's just so pleasant. I feel it in my body. I just carry it all day. And I used to carry a lot of tension in my body. My muscles always used to ache, especially in my shoulders. I carried a lot of weight in my shoulders. I'm just there, it's like, and to come with this release of just, you can breathe and you can wake up and you can be in this moment, and it's just momentum. It's like going on a train, and it's just enjoying the scenery, and whoever comes on the train, just come enjoy.
Marketing to 80% rather than 20%.
Yeah.
That's 4 times.
You're very good. You're very good with that. I agree. Oh my gosh, so good.
And if you go 4 times higher, you can give 3 away to someone.
Yeah, there's the bonus. There's the prize. Yeah.
When you have enough space.
When you have enough space. Yeah.
So those that listen could do the math and figure out what that is.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's 9 times 3.
Okay, cool. 9 times 3. Okay. 27.
That's the reward.
Yeah.
Oh, and I got 250 of those to do.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Just right here in my backyard.
Whoa.
To put a number on that is a 2.2B company.
Wow. That's it.
So I'd only have to do that 5 times to be 10.
Wow.
Okay. In Bakersfield, California? Yeah, I think I can do that. And then go 5 other places. Yeah.
Yep.
There's a few places that are bigger than that.
Oh, wow. That's right.
And that's just heavy oil, which is the dirtiest, by the way.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a hard offer to say no to. And I think everyone will want to make sure that one wins.
That's
which
right.
puts us in a pretty good position.
Nice.
And
Oh, that's
everyone's
awesome.
happy.
Yeah, that's what you want. Also, in the end of the day, you want people also to be happy and, you know, settled, and because we all got to come in some sort of agreement to make some sort of
That's right.
progress. I mean, especially when it
Could I
comes to
make it
business, right?
Could I make it
Yeah.
extremely more and it's like much higher? It's like, yeah, I could.
Sure.
But it's like, as long as the quantity comes in, it's not going to matter.
Right.
And if the quantity doesn't come in, then I'm not fulfilling on my purpose.
Is it?
Mhm.
That's it.
It has money. That has nothing to do with it. Money's just the result. Currency
Oh,
is just the result of it.
there you go.
And I'm going to make offers that they're going to give away with their least valuable currency today. They're going to give that part of it away is because they don't give any thought to it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't value it today, and I significantly value it.
Oh, there's genius. There comes genius.
Because
Happen
we're
to
going to write the rules for it. So,
come on now,
yeah.
Jesse. Bring that on. Bring it.
I don't want to give too much away. Jeez.
I know, but it's like
I got to
there's only
sign
one-
NDAs for this stuff. I mean, we need NDAs in place for this stuff.
Bring it. That's right. I hear that. No, I hear that. I
I
hear
mean,
that.
I can't give away my $9 million secret.
No. Well, we're not. No.
I know.
Yeah. Powerful
Why?
stuff.
Just because.
Yeah.
Because they said no to the cheaper ones. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Because they've said no to the cheaper ones 15 years. That's why.
Mm.
For 15 years, they've said no to my cheap one.
Yeah.
That space.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Yeah, it seems like they need to lose it all to recognize your genius. And I'll give it an example. Like 3 years ago, when a lot of people lost their job, and that's the only way for them to recognize their genius. It was an invitation for them to go deeper into their heart and what do I really want. And you guys might disagree, but like the people that kept their job and nothing was different for them, they were in disadvantage unless they're like, I can do that while keeping my job. But when you lose your job, you lose everything. Now you go back to the basic. What do I really want? What do I care of having? So a lot of families got together. It kind of amplify everything you wanted. So if you wanted to be closer to your family, that brought you closer. And if you didn't want anything to do with your family, then that got you further. So that's why I'm grateful for this time, because we're going to see a lot of people, including myself, emerging with their genius because they were pushed against the wall.
Backed into a corner.
Back to a corner.
Isn't that true, hey? Isn't that just the truth? And that's when, they don't have options. That's when they literally, that's why when, we making the path, we creating a path. And that's why, as hard as it is, because it is work, how do you feel that the people behind us are coming? They're going to do extra hard. It's extra hard. So that's why just bringing this understanding of narrative to this is where we're going with this. Yeah, I hear that.
So I watch these two doves. This dove lands on the line, and then this dove lands right next to this other dove. And the other one, the first one was there, just scoots over, just along the wire, just slides over, and they're like a foot apart now. It's like, no, you were way too close to me.
Yeah.
Is that funny that we can learn so much from nature?
Isn't it? Oh, yes. So much.
No, so here they come.
When you open your eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the pattern, you see it everywhere. No?
Yeah.
That one wanted to get real close, and the other one's like, nope.
Yeah. Yeah.
You shine light on awareness, and you can't put darkness on it.
That's it. Enough experience.
Oh.
Wow.
Well, I'm gonna go practice. I'm gonna go deliver my offer to my team and see what they think about it at some point here today. And I should have. I'll have. Well, of course we'll have more. But
Nice.
thank you.
Thank you.
Today was power. Yeah.
It was very powerful.
I honor every one of you coming in your genius. Yeah, coming in your gifts and your greatness every morning.
Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Pascal.
Yeah, and when I realize it's effortless.
Amen. I love that. That's right.
Nobody's pushing me to come to these calls.
Amen to that too.
I haven't even like resistance to get to these calls.
Yeah.
Until you just follow your genius or you follow like your passion.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, well, that's it. That's his passion. I can't stop him anymore.
That's it.
But if you listen, like the first person that says, no, you shouldn't be on these calls. No. Like you got better to do. You got better to do. Come on. As soon as you say, no, I'll choose to go on these calls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And choose to live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, this is in reality, this is my daily practice that works really well.
Absolutely.
For me.
It works incredibly well for me too. I find it's a treasure. It's a treasure, hidden treasure at the moment, you know,
Mhm.
and, you know, just like to share all the jewels and the sparks and the diamonds and everything that everybody can experience. So I love very much.
Yeah, the way I see it is like I'm building a very, very strong foundation.
Oh, me, yeah, that's it.
That's what
So
these
good.
call allow me.
Yeah, I can really resonate to that too because I feel it's totally the same. I feel totally the same. I'm
And
sort of
with
using your words, but it's the truth.
a foundation that sustains.
Mhm.
And I also think it's a love and trust, you know, goes together.
Mhm. Love, trust, and value.
Oh, yes. Yeah, we got to add that value, right? You just got to add that value. And it is valuable. It's a treasure.
Because I love that, you know, I really feel you're a really good student, Jesse. You know, I just taught you about reversing roles, right? So you really listened to me when I was shopping for an apartment instead than them asking me question. I was asking question. So now they came to you.
Mhm.
So why did they came to you? So like to ask like what's their value? What's are you bringing to the table? To me, that released a lot of like tension.
And knowing my pattern would be to surrender to them, to be like, oh, you're everything that I would want. Oh, look at that. Like, oh, yay, prove. Look at the proof of who I'm talking to. And at the end of the day, it's we're together saying, this is, I know what I can deliver. What can you deliver? So we're both in that stalemate.
Mm-hmm.
And we're both anticipating, like, well, I wonder what move they're going to make. And so here, if I can lay out a no-brainer, a valuable offer, they're not going to get anywhere else. They're going to say yes to this one, and they're going to say yes to my next ones. And my cost should be low. If it's not, I get rid of them and get a new one. And they know what they're losing then.
And it's their loss, not yours.
So I'm doing what I'm going to do.
Yeah. Well, that's great.
Awesome.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Thank
love
you.
it.
Love it too.
All right,
Have a
guys.
great Friday. I will be on
You
at
too.
noon today. I'm doing mastery at noon today, which is 1 hour noon my time. So mastery, just to let you guys know. If you
Are
make
you
it,
gonna
that's
put
awesome.
that? Are you gonna put that in the chat box in the?
Yeah, I
Art
will. I will
Center?
put it. I'll put it in the.
Is that 1 o'clock Eastern time?
That would be 3 o'clock Eastern time.
Oh, thank you for telling me, confirming that with me.
3
Okay,
Eastern.
cool.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
2 Central, 1 Mountain.
Okay, very good.
Okay.
All right,
Alrighty,
guys.
Sweet. All right. Have a good day, guys.
We'll be
Bye.
talking more about this today. We'll be talking about that at Mastery. Yeah. So
Nice.
have a great day.
Yeah, you too.
Bye.